There it is. There it is. Okay. I think we're live. Uh, and today, again, is the, what? Wednesday the 21st. So we're in the middle of Dante. And on the board up above is the quote of the day, quote number 22. Once scalded, cold water even seems hot. That's a big one for thought. So anyway, what I'd like to emphasize is you've got to read the short version here of the journey Dante takes. And let me give you some more information and a little more explanation, and then we'll turn the camera off. Okay, in your book, Dante's Inferno, or the Divine Comedy, as he calls it, is a journey from hell and back. And where is back? Well, everyone assumes it's earth or heaven. Is how do we get from hell and back and get back to where we need to be? Anyway, his poem here is a journey. As we left off, hopefully the camera was working on Monday. We found out that we ran out of battery power, but anyway, we were starting the journey at the bottom of a mountain. Behind me on the board is a triangle that can represent a mountain, starting at the bottom and going to the top, or you could reverse that triangle or mountain and start one way. As long as you start on my right, your left, start at point A, go to point B, and then you return. And you're going to encounter many things along the way. And you're going to encounter Dante's 9 circles of hell. Okay. His overall theme and thought was that we start our journey in darkness or in a place that we don't particularly like, and we get inspired along the way, and we find out there are things that get in our way or things that help us or stop us. And Virgil, he makes a lot of reference to Virgil and even some of the other people we studied, but mostly Virgil. And he says Virgil made him look at things different, and through his eyes he saw the way or the holiness and the vision of God. And then the process to get to God is the only thing that we need to do is keep pressing forward. And with the vision of God always pushing us and beyond our humanism, our ultimate task then is to seek the face of God. And the journey getting there can seem like hell. And sometimes when we get there, we don't look at it as what we thought it would be. So when you do finally see God, you know that you have arrived there. From the physical world, you would be considered dead. But in order to get there, we have to go through these many stages. Now, within the poem, and there is a handout that you can actually look up online, and it's the handout I gave to the students that are here. And these are the 9 circles of hell. And as you read through the poem, I would like you to try to find those words and circle them. And here are the 9 circles. And the first one on the list, and actually the printout that you should get would look something like this that I'm holding up in front of the camera. And it's the circles of hell in Dante's Inferno. First one is limbo. Um, I call it the no man's land, but he titles it the same thing, but he actually puts some pagan ideas and people. He says this represents limbo, the first circle, the unbaptized, virtuous pagans. And he says that included even Virgil, Homer, Horace, Ovid, Socrates, Plato. Uh, and one of the reasons is they were unbaptized, but they were seeking and they knew the Word of God. Circle 2 or line 2, however you want to put it, I have it's lust, it's a personal pleasures. Um, your souls are blown about by a violent storm without hope of rest. Franciscus and her lover Palo are here. On his journey, he encounters several lady figures in the lust of ladies, and at the end of the journey, he finds Beatrice, who is the final love that shows him the final step to see God. 3 is gluttony. Um, it could be an everyday, like over and over habit that you have or excess that you have. He says it's the gluttons are forced to lie vile in the slush guarded by certain people that block your way in your journey. 4, harvest is a common day theory of, and he has prodology or prodigy. It's excessive spending, extreme greed for wealth or material things. Um, Sometimes people go buy things. I've found to relieve tension and pressure. It's kind of more of a everyday thing that you could see. 5, the 5th circle is wrath, and seeing difference and sullen indifference of things around you. Um, those sudden urges you get that make you angry. 6 is heresy. Basically, that is going against what the norm is or where you should be. And a lot of times, people do not like what the customs or the norms are, so they'll stand out. I got to use an example that I sometimes feel this is what it is. Okay, the norm is to wear this style and this style, so you don't. The norm is to have natural hair color, and then you'll see someone with red hair, orange hair, but it's not necessarily bad, but it's not following the norm. And a lot of the people we've studied all were people that stood out and took a chance. So, you have to be very careful where you draw that line. Number 7 is violence. That was pretty obvious. It's the physical striking out, lashing out. You could also include in there the tone of your voice and the words you choose when you get into a violent mood. 8 is self-explanatory too, but he calls it fraud. It's an intentional deception. It's also an unlawful act or an unlawful gain. And number 9 in his circle is treachery. This is where he defines it as betrayal. You break your trust, you break the moral, or you have immoral acts. And these are the 9 deadly sins of his description of the circles of hell. But anyway, that was kind of a quick rundown that there's on on Friday we will finalize it, and I will post for you today, probably when I get home, some questions I want to ask. You're going to have to read some of the infernal journey, because I'll give you the page number and you will be looking at something and trying to interpret it. So try to keep the circles of hell in your notes, and you should not have any trouble. Okay, that's a quick one, but I think we got in what we needed. And so keep and make sure you read it. This is a real short version of the journey, so don't be afraid to, not reading the whole thing. It would take you a month. Anyway, have a good day. See you later.